Hello, everybody. It must be Thursday. Today, Christopher is going to talk about how to build patron categories that aren't assigned to a specific library. So, watch this, and we'll be right back. All right. I am George Williams. I'm the Next Search Catalog Coordinator at Northeast Kansas Library System.
Christopher Brannon, the IT coordinator for the Coeur d'Alene Public Library, and with Inland Share Consortium.
And today, so you described this problem to me where you want to have patron categories that are used for like behind the scenes functions. And so you want to have some categories that staff at libraries can't create, and you've come up with a solution for that. So,
Yeah, and I do have a bug on this. I opened up a bug because it does seem like it would be a good idea for there to be something built in. So there's a discussion going on. I'll share the bug here, but there's a discussion going on about it. But basically, what's happening is, let me actually just show you. We have patron categories where we've got a lot of patron categories, but we have some patron categories that I don't necessarily want libraries connecting to. For example, we have a uh, a category for remote accounts, and we have a category for self-registration. And I don't want staff assigning themselves to or anybody to a staff category. That needs to be left to admin. Um, but one of the things you'll notice like self-registration, it's limited to one library. When you create a category that you don't want tied to any particular library, you don't have that option. So I had to tie it to at least
right,
one
you have to choose
library.
something.
Yeah. And it's not helpful because it means that one branch could accidentally assign that category to a patron account.
Right.
So my solution, so basically, let me go back to patrons. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to update this list. So things like, you know, staff assignments or self-registration or the remote accounts, it doesn't show up there because, there's a lot of categories. They don't need to sift through all the stuff that they're never going to need or
Right.
should use. So this is one of the lists that I address. And if I actually uh, create a patron, this is the other list that I want
Right.
to address. And so there's self-registration, the remote, the staff stuff. Uh, these are things that I want to deal with, and statistical in there too. They're never going to assign people to those things. So I have a little bit of jQuery here. Basically, what it's looking for, first of all, it's checking a variable, a global variable. We've talked about global variables before, and I've
Right.
set up one that's looking to see if the account that's logged in is an admin account or not. So it ignores this if it's an admin account. Otherwise, you can do it for all accounts. I recommend that you don't do it for all accounts, simply because somebody needs to be able to utilize those and assign them uh, to needed accounts for their purpose. So if you can exclude an account, please do. But otherwise, it's looking for uh, several different things. It's looking for for example, the self code or the admin code or the program code, and it's looking under category code entry. So if you actually were to go in here, actually inspect, it's basically looking for, I believe it's this drop down right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's looking for these things, but on this particular one, I have to look within the href for
Okay.
the code. So that one, you had to dig a little bit for it, but it's looking for this particular page, PAT member, or if you are on the, if you're actually on an editing page.
That's member entry, if I remember right.
Yeah, Pat member entry gen page. You can look specifically for these pages, but I'm looking for this ID, and the code is a little bit easier to look for. So, for example, if I was looking for, I think it's the self is in here. Yeah, self is in here. So I'm looking for an option with the value of self.
Right.
So in this case, I'm not limiting to specific pages. I am looking for this particular ID, and then the option that includes that value of that code,
Right.
or on those other pages, the PAT member, looking for the drop down and item. So a class of drop down item, it has an href that contains that category code equals, and then whatever that category code is.
Right.
So there's several pieces that it's looking for, and there was a different use here. The category code entry, this one's looking for actually an opt group because I only have one category under statistics or statistical, and I could remove just that option, but it would still leave the group category
Right. The group
label.
would be there, but you wouldn't. Yeah.
So I'm
But it would
removing
have
the
no
whole thing.
members.
Yeah, so like in here, here's that it would, I could remove this, but then it would just leave this. So I'm just removing this whole group
Right.
in this case. So apply that, and then we're going to reload this page. And now, why is it still showing?
Because you're logged in as an admin.
I'm logged in as an admin. You're right.
That was
So
the
let me,
exception you created to that rule was to,
yes, exactly. And, this is a good example of how that's working, but let me see if I can log in. I got to move stuff out of the way. Let's see here. See if I can remember. Okay. Okay. So now I'm logged in as regular staff person. And if I go to patrons, none of my special accounts or categories are there. And this list is whittled down pretty well too. So a lot less for staff to have to sift through.
right.
So that's
So
what I've got.
for us, the way we handle it is a little different because since we have a central office, that's, Neckles, all of those categories that we only want Neckles staff to manage, that's the only limit. That's the branch limitation is Neckles. And so the people at the other libraries don't see those ones that are only available to Neckles staff. But in your
Right.
situation, your headquarters library is a working, library. You don't have a central location that's just administrative. But that's how
Correct.
we handle it. So,
Yeah, and if you have that sort of setup, then yeah, that's easy enough. You just pick the branch that's dealing with all the admin workflow, and problem solved. But yeah, we don't have that luxury, and so there's not an easy answer. I always defaulted certain things to just the Coeur d'Alene Public Library, but then our staff all see that kind of stuff,
right.
and it's nice that they don't have to look through all of that. I'm grateful that we can limit shelving locations and patron categories. Well, let's see, can we limit patron? Yeah, we can limit
Yeah.
patron categories to specific branches so that if your branch functions a little bit differently than another branch, that you don't have to sift through all the stuff that you don't use. But there are special cases where there are things that none of the branches should be using, um, for admin purposes.
Right.
Anyways,
Well, that's an interesting approach to that problem that I hadn't really encountered here before. So,
one of the things that came up in the discussion on the actual bug is even limiting those categories uh, so that you can't edit them. And while I haven't done that, I might do that. But you and I were talking about this earlier, and we did an episode last year. It was episode 411, um, where you showed how you could limit editing to specific accounts.
yes, we have uh, libraries that create ILL accounts, like our Ottawa library. If they have to send something outside of the consortium, they will check that out to an ILL card. And they were having an issue where other libraries were saying, well, I don't need to create an ILL card for like Dodge City, which is outside of the consortium, because I can just check it out to this card that's already here that has an Ottawa home library. And so then these things are getting checked out and being sent to like Dodge City. And then the people in Ottawa who were assuming that that would be only their materials on that account had the issue where they were saying, we have all these things checked out, but they weren't checked out by us and we don't even know what they are. And so I wrote some code that makes it so that unless if the home library, well, if the account type is ILL, if the patron category is ILL, then only the library that created that account can check things out to that account, uh, or can edit the account. So it restricts that account type to the one branch where it was created. So, but that's kind of a different issue, but you can use some of those tools that are in that video to do similar things to these accounts where you can you wouldn't have to necessarily say this account type, or maybe you could, choose what other features of the account lock that type of action to a particular place or a particular staff type. So,
Yes. So, I mean, in this use case for me, um, it would be easy enough because I would only want admin messing with those accounts that I would say that, well, except for the case of self-registration, I would want staff to be able to change the self-registration account over to a regular account.
right,
What they can't do is pick it from the list, but that would be the one exception. So for everything else, I would say if if these if one of these if the patron that you have on the page is loaded with that particular category, then just remove the edit option.
right,
So unless you're admin. So
right.
all
Well, that
right.
was pretty good.
Well, I hope folks find that helpful. if you would like to see movement on that bug, we encourage you to click on that bug and to add comments. When you add comments to a bug, it generates interest and shows people that the developers that people are interested in that particular feature. This one, I was surprised. I put out there in the same day or the day after, started generating discussion right away. So it is something that people are interested in, and we encourage folks to get involved on bugs so that if you want to see something happen, be involved in the discussion, show that you have interest in it. But if you find this helpful, we encourage you to go onto our YouTube page or go onto Mattermost and let us know. You can comment on this video, or you can reach out to us on Mattermost. We'd love to hear from you and see what you thought about this particular workaround or any of the others that we have shown over the years. So we hope to see you folks out there. Otherwise, we'll see everybody again, or you'll see us in 2 weeks.
See y'all later.